about stepping up?
Bang! Bang!
It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter, Hyphenly. It is our no-fluff love letter with hot takes, heartfelt stories, and all the feels of living in between cultures. Come for the nuance, stay for the vibes. Link is in the show notes. Hello, hello. Welcome to Lovely. My name is Mahek, and I am so glad you're here today. So this week, I am back with a solo episode. I have so much to catch you up on in terms of what's been going on in my dating life, to the mindset and the energy that I am embracing right now, and also sharing some reflections that I've been having about love and relationships. I hope you caught last week's episode with Yasmin Ilhadi. I am just in awe of Yasmin. She is just such a joy and light to speak to. She also is very dangerously confident, which is one of the things that we talked about. Something that she shared with me has stayed with me, and I feel like I now have the language to describe actually how confident people act. And confident people are always giving flowers loudly to other people, okay? And I try to do that, when I see someone on the street that I think is like beautiful, stunning, I will stop them and I'd be like, I'll pay them a compliment. If I see a coworker doing really, really well at work, I will give them a compliment and want to learn from them. If my friends are doing something amazing, I will compliment them. And speaking of friends complimenting you, I received, I think, probably one of the kindest, most amazing voice notes. It's actually from my best friend, Waleed, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Waleed. I think it really gives you a good insight as to how I'm spending my life these days.
You have a way of just like grabbing life by the balls and just being like, I'm going to create the life that I want for myself. And I sincerely appreciate and love that quality so much. Like, you're not living life passively, you're living it actively. You're steering your life the way that you want it to go. And just, I admire that quality about you so much, and I love you, and I can recognize and acknowledge just the amount of courage and strength and bravery that takes, especially coming from, a Pakistani Muslim background, being a girl. So I just wanted to kind of let you know that and just compliment you.
So, in terms of an update on my love life, I've been dating. I've been dating. I re-downloaded Hinge, and I've met some really fun, interesting people that have added positively to my life. Let's just say that. I mean, obviously there's like been, one or two really off dates, which maybe I'll tell you the story about later. But I also think that I am experiencing more positivity in dating right now. It's because the mindset that I'm in right now. And I saw a TikTok the other day, guys, which made total sense. And I think it was one of the best questions I've heard. Instead of being like, when you meet someone new or you're trying to get to know someone, they're like, oh, what's your superpower? Like, what are you really good at? Or like this and that. I heard someone ask, what's your magic? I think that's brilliant. Like, hey, like, what's your magic? And I was thinking about that question. I'm like, what is my magic? And I am just very grateful of building a life for myself where I'm allowed to feel this way. Okay. I'm like, say mashallah, everyone. Say mashallah. But I think my magic is that good things are always happening to me. And they don't happen because life is magically easier for me. I think they happen for me because I walk into every situation expecting magic. And I think that's the difference, right? And I feel like I'm carrying that into dating, which is a huge game changer for me. And I've also told myself that I don't need 100 perfect dates. Just like I said, some dates have been positive, some haven't been. You don't even need 10. You just need one good one date that you make a connection with, a spark. And if it doesn't progress, that is not a stain on your worth. And I think through the years of experience, like I'm 32, turning 33 in October, I've realized that not every man or woman who walks into your life is a representation of your value or a verdict on your value. Sometimes he's just Tuesday night and you just move on to Wednesday and you're good. Now, if you've been here through the beginning of time, I've told you that maybe a year ago I was like, oh, dating apps are a humiliation ritual. Never say never, but I'm not going back on Hinge. And here I am back on Hinge. So I think we've all done that hot and cold thing, just like you've done with a toxic ex, right? Going back and forth, and you swear you're done with him, just like you're done with the apps. And then, a month, 2 months, or 2 weeks later, you're back in his bed or you're back in the dating apps. That's been me with dating apps. Like sometimes I'll delete Hinge and I'll feel so powerful, like, yay, I'm free. I'm not doing this again. I'm healed. A few weeks or a month later, I'm like, maybe I should re-download it. So dating itself has become the situationship, and I think that's true for a lot of us because dating mostly these days feels exhausting, right? You have app fatigue, there's ghosting culture, there is the emotional labor of the first few dates, and it's society telling you that you should already have your person when half of these men can't even like order a cocktail without trauma dumping or like saying something so bizarre that you have no choice but to get the check and leave. But there are good men out there. I will tell you that. There are good men out there, but dating is a game of numbers. And I'll get into that in a second. I think we're just in a messy relationship with dating itself. And in order to heal that relationship, you have to change your mindset a little bit, or you physically just need to take a break sometimes. And then you come back. Where I'm at right now is I chose to go back and I'm approaching it with a different energy. And it's always me that's doing the choosing. And I think if you're struggling with dating right now, my advice to you would be really like going on different dates with different people that you normally wouldn't see yourself going on a date with, whether they are not your type physically, whether they are not having the career that you always wanted your future husband to have, whether, there's a few qualities of theirs that you don't necessarily like agree with. I think dating is like the jobs that you work. Sometimes you work good jobs, sometimes you work bad jobs, but you need to go through those different types of jobs to be like, oh, that's not the one I'm picking for my long-term career, And I think dating's like that too. So going into dating as the philosophy of dating as like numbers versus validation. And like I said, dating is partly a numbers game. You will have to go on a handful of dates before one sticks. And even if that one sticks, it won't probably stick forever, but that's okay. You get back up and you keep going. But what will literally destroy you and your self-confidence and your self-esteem and your desire to continue dating is when you're dating for validation instead of connection. And younger me wasn't doing this on purpose, but subconsciously, I was dating like I was auditioning, you know? Every text, every person breadcrumbing me, or every date like felt like I was being graded on my worth, you know? So I was always performing. And when I didn't get that text for the second date, or if I didn't get that text to be invited out with them, or whatever it was, or good morning text or whatever, I felt like it stung like someone put the entire word rejection stamped across my forehead. But like not being chosen is not the same thing as being rejected. Like sometimes people are just not your people. I think we also have to normalize that dating multiple people at once, it's not sneaky, it's sane. Okay. It's emotional diversification. Just like when you're investing in stocks, are you only investing in one stock? No, you're going to diversify your portfolio because you want maximum return. And obviously, I mean, like, I'm encouraging you to be transparent. Like, if you're going on dates, you know, and if the other person's like, hey, are you dating? Yeah, I'm dating. Like, it's been 1, 2, 3 dates. I'm not going to commit to you. But I did go on a date recently where the man wanted me to be exclusive with him after one date. Oh my God. This is the one date where I was like, this is insane. Okay, story time, story time. So I actually was talking to this guy, matched with him on Hinge. Okay. And we exchanged a few text messages back and forth. And we didn't end up going on a date because he said something that just rubbed me the wrong way. He didn't communicate properly. I told him he didn't communicate properly, and that didn't sit well with me. And I said it really nicely. And he came back to me very aggressive. And I was like, and he was like, oh, let me know like what you want to do. And I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Like, I'm out, not interested. No one talks to me this way. You're being very disrespectful to a boundary that I clearly communicated. So, fast forward maybe like 2, 3 months after, he saw me on Hinge recently. So he sent me a message, and I was like, oh no, not this again. We've tried this before. And then he sent me a long paragraph telling me that he is very sorry how he acted. He realized in the moment, but then also I shut the conversation down and he didn't want to seem like he was chasing me. But he was very, very, very apologetic and took full accountability and told me that he hasn't stopped thinking about our conversations and he would really like another chance and blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, you know, maybe people change. Spoiler alert, they really don't. So when he was messaging me this, he was out of the country. So he was like, you know, I'm out of the country for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. The day I get back, I want to see you the day after. I'm like, okay, cool. So we're talking, we're texting, right? Like he's trying to build this very expedited level of intimacy in terms of like going into deep conversations and this and that. And I was like, no, like let's take it at a pace that I'm comfortable at. And then I think while we were talking, he would be like, oh, what are you doing tonight? Oh, what are you doing this day? Whatever. And I'm like, I'm going out for drinks. I'm going out for dinner. And then he would start to get weird. And then he'd be like, okay. And then like maybe like a few hours or a few minutes later, he would be like, hey, like you saying you going out to dinner like kind of threw me off because I'm like, oh, like is she going on a date? Is she whatever? I was like, listen, I'm going out with my friends. Even if I was going on a date, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I have not even met you. You want me to be exclusive with you over 3 profile pictures that you put on Hinge and a half-ass prompt? No. I was taken, shaken, and stirred by listening to that comment. As these things are coming up, I'm like, my God, like I should not go on this date. Like it's weird. It's freaking weird that he's saying these things. Something in me was like, hey, just go on this date because then you can make your discernment after you go on the date whether you want to see him again or you don't want to see it again. But you don't want to look back and being like, hey, this was the second time. What if you just like went on this date? Now he's back from his trip and he was getting back on the Wednesday and he wanted to see me on the Thursday. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I think he was like head over heels. He was like, I'm coming back on Wednesday. Like, I cannot wait a single day to see you. I want to see you Wednesday. I'm like, okay, okay, cool. See me Wednesday. And this time he's doing everything right, right? Like he's like confirming on the day of, he's like taking me out for dinner, whatever, cool. So he comes, he gets me, we go to dinner, we're talking, and he's asking me what my deal breakers are. And I'm like, "Ugh, first and foremost, I am not going to tell you all my deal breakers because I'm not going to give you a playbook into like how to fake act, you know? You can act how you want and then I'll see if I see any deal breakers." So I gave him like one or two, like very generic ones. I'm like, "Oh, what are your deal breakers?" This man says, "My deal breakers are structured women." I'm like, what do you mean by that? He's like, you know, when a girl or a woman says, "Oh, I'm not going to get into your car till like a second or third date," things like that. I'm like, why does that bother you so much? He's like, well, you know, girls can just tell when someone is a good person or a bad person. So why would you not get into my car? I had to like stop back, like the rage that I was feeling. I was like, yeah, yeah, you're right. We do have good intuition and discernment, but like women still get murdered, raped, and killed if we get into a stranger's car. So give me another one. Give me another one quickly. And then he says, yeah, like if a girl is like, "Oh, I'm not going to kiss you till the third date or whatever." I'm like, what's your issue with that? Like, why does it bother you so much? He's like, no, if the vibe is there, the vibe is there. In my head, I was like, I know exactly the type of guy you are. I know exactly the type of guy you are. And I know exactly what I'm going to do after this date, which is I'm going to block you and I'm not going to speak to you again. Then we like wrapped up the date and I made it very, very clear. I do not, no, don't try to pull any funny business. So anyways, we wrapped up, went home and then he like messaged me something bizarre after I got home before I even had the chance to block him. Anyways, I said, "Hey, thanks for dinner. I don't think we're aligned. So yeah, I think it's best we don't continue. And I wish you all the best." Then I blocked him. So there's a few things that come out of that. One thing is that you should definitely trust your gut. And I felt like my gut was, I am in a good place to figure this out by actually meeting this person in person and then like figuring out, do I want to continue? Do I not want to continue? So I did that because now, after I've done that, I will never look back on this experience and be like, what if, you know? But also like I made sure that I was still safe, you know, like I had the date on my terms. I knew where we were going. If I needed an exit strategy, I had all of that and it was fine. And still I didn't feel like he was going to like do anything. If I felt that way, I wouldn't even go on this date. And second, you do not need to be pressured to act a certain way when a guy is telling you that like as a man, it's really wrong that like I would be dating a few people in the early stages of dating. I haven't even met you. Even if I met you, like second date, you're thinking I'm only going to see you, like, and I don't date casually, guys. Like, but if I have a connection with someone, I'm going to go on a date. Anyways.
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
I feel like when a guy does a lot of things right in dating and relationships, people always say if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, he would. You've heard it. So let's get into that. I think if he wanted to, he would is the most seductive and misleading phrase in modern dating today. And for a long time, not even up until maybe like, I would say up until earlier this year, I swore by this. I swore by this. You know, it felt clean, felt empowering. It was like black and white, right? Like if a man loves you, he'll move mountains for you. Okay, sure, sure. But let's dissect it a little bit. Okay. I think the flaw in the statement is that wanting isn't the same as being capable. An analogy I can give you is like someone saying, like, if you wanted abs, like ABS, abs, you just have them. No, you can want a six pack all day, but without the discipline, the training, the nutrition, you're not waking up with abs. Desire without capacity isn't love, it's a liability. And I think that's what we're getting wrong in dating. Like we mistake capacity for desire, right? Did my ex absolutely love me and want to be with me? 100%. But did he have the capacity, the tools, the resources to regulate his emotions, to show up for me in the way that I needed to have him show up? No. And I always used to be like, oh, it's because I wasn't good enough. Oh, I wasn't good enough. No, they literally didn't show up because they don't know how to. When you learn this, you are going to be a much happier person. And I also think that as women, we are so conditioned to be healers, to be nurturers. And you always try to do more than you need to be the exception to their pattern. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Oh, man, I'm getting so heated. I'm getting so heated. Okay, you know what else got me heated? The movie Materialists.
Wow. You know how to do the math, don't you? You are what we call a unicorn. An impossible fantasy.
How much is this apartment?
12 million. Not gonna marry him, are you?
Why not?
Because he's good looking and rich. Probably doesn't have roommates.
Is that my charger?
When I see your face, I see wrinkles and children that look like you. So where does that leave us?
So the movie has Pedro Pascal, Dakota Johnson, and Chris Evans. And like surface level, everything you want in a rom-com, right? Good looking people, good soundtrack, aesthetics, outfits, everything. But it's also like, I would call it like the economics of modern love, okay? The plot of the movie is that the main character, Dakota Johnson, gets presented with two options for choosing these two guys that are in front of her. Okay. One man, who is Pedro Pascal, he represents stability. Okay. He is really like rich and has this lifestyle that she's dreamed of her entire life because she saw like her parents struggling with money all the time and her mom constantly having to work. And she's like, I will never be that girl. But he is emotionally shut off. He has no capability or capacity to love, but he can give her exactly the life that she wants. And he was like trying to like learn for her or whatever. And then other Chris Evans, who represents like passion and romance, who like they dated, I think, for years and years and years, but would find themselves in the same narrative, the same fights, you know, struggling artists, cannot meet basic bills, cannot meet her needs in real life. I watched the movie and towards the end, I sat there and I was like I wasn't angry or anything, but I was reflecting. I'm like, if I was Dakota Johnson, I would say like, absolutely not. Like if I were her, I would have chosen myself because I think it's such a false binary. Like, and I think movies, like especially rom-coms, not all of them, but they love to trap women in scarcity choices, right? Like, do you want love or money? Do you want stability or passion? Do you want comfort or desire? Like, can I have both? Can I have all of the above? You know, there are some trade offs, but like, I was just like, there's not just one or two shots at love. You choose yourself. They're not the only two men on the planet. Go find someone else. I'm a firm believer you can fall in love multiple times in a lifetime. I think like love is rare, but it's not that rare. You know, I think what's rare is trusting that you can walk away and find it again.
I don't think I'm very good at my job anymore.
We promised them love.
but the math doesn't add up.
Why does anyone even get married?
Because they're lonely. And because they're hopeful.
And I think that's what's missing in the movie. I'm sure like they did this to like provoke thought and conversation, and almost like the person watching it who wouldn't choose themselves maybe look at that and saying like, no, I got to choose myself. I think the real power move isn't choosing between two men. The real power move is saying I choose myself, and I'll wait for a love that doesn't make me shrink just to fit in. You find yourself having more options when you operate from an abundance mindset, because like there's so much more out there. So where am I now? Okay, summer has been summering. Like, I think June, July, I was very much still in like hibernation mode. Like, I'm in Toronto, so, it didn't start getting warmer till July, but like, oh my goodness, I'm just like so grateful and happy that I get to live this life that I've built for myself on my own terms. I feel like I'm so rich in life because I have an amazing, loving family that supports me so much. I have amazing friends that are always down to do fun things with me, be there for me when I need them. And I'm also, mashallah, like really happy with how I'm showing up for myself. So, I'm choosing to do fun things. I'm going to continue, trying to see if there is a meaningful connection whenever I choose to go on another date. But yeah, like, honestly, like it's fun. Life is fun right now. I have a few trips coming up, which will be nice. I am not quitting dating, but I am quitting the idea that dating defines me. I am quitting the idea that love is scarce. I'm quitting the idea that I have to be the exception in order to be chosen. I think the real glow up isn't finding love. I think it's realizing you can choose yourself and still trust that love will find you again. I'm a big believer when you choose yourself, you truly do the things that you want to do. You're radiating good energy out there. You will attract that energy back to yourself, and that will be the alignment that you're looking for. I will also say that if you have any specific questions that you want me to answer in future episodes or certain topics that you want me to talk about, my DMs are open. Message me on Instagram or TikTok. We also have really interesting future guests lined up that are going to be joining me on some of the next few episodes that we have coming up. I think I'm going to do an episode soon where it's like full story time with my friend and I'm going to spill on all the dates that I've recently gone on. So if you love a story time, definitely check that one out. Guys, okay, I went on a date and it was actually a really, really good date. And one of the green flags was I told him about my podcast and he was like, oh, send me your podcast. I want to hear it. I sent him the episode link. I sent him the Dr. Wendy Walsh one. He listened to it and then he listened to the Friday one with Yasmin. I really hope he doesn't listen to this one because he's going to hear me talk about some other things. But I don't know if you're listening. Hey, I think that's a wrap. I appreciate if you've stayed this long and you heard the episode. But yeah, I will speak to you guys next week on Friday. Hope you take care of yourself, stay hydrated, and there's still a lot of summer left, a lot of cute memories you can make with yourself, with your friends. And if you go on a really, really good date, like tell me about it. Message me. I want to hear it. Or if you go on a really bad date, I want to hear about that too. See you all next week. Lovely is an Immigrantly media production. This episode was produced by Sadia Khan and Shay Yu, written by me, Mahak. Theme music, sound design, and editing by Lou Raskin. Other music is by Epidemic Sound. Tune in every Friday for more Lovely.